Hi guys, I'm Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 new releases I am most excited for in June. This video is a bit later than normally because I filmed other videos at the beginning of the month instead of this one, but it's still relevant. It's the middle of the month, so we are going to talk about the books I am excited for. The first book I am excited for is This Is Where You Belong by Warnick. I don't know why I just said I am excited for it because I've already read this one. I got it as a review copy. It's coming out towards the end of June and it's basically a non-fiction book about the science of loving the place where you live and how Warnick came to love the place where she moved, because she moved a lot with her husband and her family, and she didn't love the place where she came to live, which was Blacksburg in North America. And through this book she explained in multiple steps what she did to come to love the place she lived at that moment. I thought it was very interesting, and that is why I picked it up in the first place. I love the place where I live, and I thought it would be great to find out how that could be. And I did find that out a bit while reading this book, but it wasn't exactly what I expected of it. It was more a lot of studies, and people were referenced throughout this book, like a lot. And I get that is a science behind it. And Warnick explained how you could love the place you live more, but I would like more science on how it could be that you love the place you live without doing all of those things, like volunteering. I don't volunteer and I still love the place where I live. I don't shop within 1 mile. I don't walk a lot. I still love the place where I live a lot without doing those things. Second book I'm excited for is The Way to Game the Walk of Shame by Jenn and Nguyen. This book has already come out on June 7th and it's a YA contemporary. I read about this book on blogs and I got even more excited for it. And this book is about a girl who wakes up next to the school's bad boy. It's a high school story and they pretend to be in a serious relationship. And I love that trope. I love the kind of fake relationship blossoming into a real relationship, and especially between a good girl and a bad boy. Those tropes, man, those tropes. The third book I'm excited for is What Happens Now by Jennifer Castle. It's also a YA contemporary and also came out on June 7th. And this is about a girl who suffers from depression and meets a boy by a lake, becomes friends with him and falls in love with him, and they really connect with each other. And she also begins to like his friends and really gets involved in his world. This sounds like my type of story. Again, I love reading about depression and grief and mental illnesses and all of those serious topics, and I love how this girl could overcome her depression by connecting with people and feeling like she has a place in the world. But I do hope the author is not going for the route where she is magically healed from depression by meeting a boy, because that is not how it happens. Then I'm excited for a season of Fireflies by Maizel, and I already read this one as well. I got a review copy and I gave it 4 stars. I thought this was a really unique, again, YA contemporary. The story is about a girl called Penny who suffers from amnesia after being struck by thunder, and she lost memories of the last year of her life. Before this year, she was friends with this theatre group and she was in theatre, but she quit theatre and found another friend called Kylie. Penny didn't talk to her other friends anymore, and when Penny was struck with thunder, she did remember her old friends and being in that old life, but she didn't remember her new friend and the new friend group at all. So she was stuck being with her old friends, and her old friends didn't want to have to do anything with her anymore. But she didn't know that. I thought it was really special because Penny suddenly became her old self again, but she also managed to mix up her new friend group that she didn't remember and her old friend group, and she managed to find a perfect balance for it. And I loved how in this book there was no bad person. At first I thought Kylie was going to be depicted as the typical mean girl after Penny didn't remember her, but that is not the route the author took, and I really appreciate that everyone is just a teenager, everyone makes mistakes, everyone does things they shouldn't have done. And last book I'm going to be talking about is The Distance to Home by Jenn Bishop. I also just realized there are a lot of people with Jenn in in their name in this list. We have Jenn and Jennifer Castle, and now Jenn Bishop. This Is to Home is a middle grade book, and it's set to come out on June 28th. The story is about a girl called Nguyen who is in the baseball team, and her sister Haley was at all of her baseball games. But now Haley is dead. Nguyen doesn't want to play baseball anymore without her sister sitting there and watching her, and she meets some new baseball players and they will make her fall in love with baseball again. I normally never read middle grade stories because I just feel like they're too juvenile for me, and their stories, their premises mostly don't speak to me. But again, there is a death in this book, and I feel like there's a really mature topic for a book, and I normally don't read about sports either, but in this story, baseball is a main subject, as well as grief. Again, serious topics, and I want to know how Jenn Bishop is going to handle that subject in a middle grade story. So those are my top 5 new releases I'm excited for. 2 of them I have already read, and 3 of them I am still waiting for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what new releases you're excited for in June. Have you read any of them? Have you heard of any of the books I just mentioned? Let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!